GANGSTALKED, confrontation, and engagement. At this level, the gangstalkers enter the personal space of the targeted individual, in some cases for insincere, intimate relationships and insincere friendships. The gangstalkers want to confront and engage the targeted individual in person through conversation interaction. The gangstalkers seek opportunity to insert themselves into the life of the targeted individual. Some of the gangstalkers may use touchy-feely gestures of familiarity, such as a tap on the shoulder or pat on the hand, but not in a violent way. Honey trapping is an investigative practice utilizing romantic and or sexual relationships for an interpersonal, political, or monetary purpose to the detriment of one party involved in this romantic or sexual affair. Investigators are also often employed by wives, husbands, and other partners, usually when an illicit romantic affair is suspected of the target or subject of the investigation. Occasionally, the term may be used for the practice of creating an affair for the purpose of taking incriminating photos for use in blackmail. Honey trap is primarily used to collect evidence on the subject of the honey trap. So, if someone is hiring a PI, a private investigator, for you, you probably have money, and it most likely has nothing to do with gangstalkers. Gangstalkers are not like that. Probably the private investigator can be a gangstalker, but I doubt the gangstalker is paying you. So, gangstalkers, what they're trying to do is that they're trying to go on with their life while doing their things. One thing that I have noticed is that gangstalkers who are good gangstalkers, they're typically very laborious and they're focused on work, and they just like to produce money, and they don't the lower class of gangstalkers are the ones that typically try to engage the target in insincere ways. Like, if you're getting gangstalked, if you're homeless, other homeless people are going to try to engage you. Other drug users are going to try to engage you to get the ball rolling. So I want to tell the story of this guy whose name is Miguel, but he's like 0.0004% Arab, so he calls himself Bijam. So we met at a yacht party, and freaking we had a good time. So then we kind of like, when I was using, we talked about hooking up and smoking and whatever. But then he later hit me up for he wanted to become my client. So at this point, I got a suspicion about indirect manipulation, because we trained, he paid me and everything, he was really nice, but the entire time that he was training, he was always almost trying to turn me on by pointing out really hot guys at the gym. So he was just like saying, "Oh, look at his ass, you can see the bulge on that guy," and then he would go overboard, like something that it was way beyond normal. So I had a suspicion that's what he was doing. Now I completely know for a fact that that's exactly what he was doing, because in the end he didn't go to see me to lose weight, because he lost weight, but he wasn't as consistent as someone who truly wanted to change his physical appearance was. His goal was to get me to use drugs again. That was what he wanted, because when he actually accomplished it, and I had a relapse, everyone at the gym was participating at this gangstalking, where wherever I turned, they were doing the signal, but I never reacted. So being that, and when it was over and I didn't react at all, he looked upset. He was literally like, "Okay, what are you doing this?" Like that. Like, he was literally upset. But of course he's not gonna say it out loud, because you're not allowed to talk about it. But yeah, he was upset because he got he invested his time, his money, because as a personal trainer I charge a lot. I'm quite expensive. And he never got what he wanted in the first place. He just got me to like go out and whore out, whatever. But he didn't get to watch me act like an insane person. I just completely ignored the entire thing. So people, these gang stalkers are going to insert themselves in your life in order to engage with you and to try to get you to, they're trying to steer you in the direction they want you to steer, that they want you to go. And so I'm telling you this, some people actually have more value in messing with you than in improving their own lives. It's insane. Like, these people literally just, their whole goal in life, like their entertainment, their number one, they put more value on messing with you rather than improving themselves. That's why a lot of these gang stalkers are nothing. That's why they're so miserable. That's why they're just still, they see themselves so low, and they know it, but they use this sense of power to defend that. But if you're operating at a higher level where your self-esteem is intrinsic and not on appearance, then they have no power. That's why they see you as a menace, because their tactics are nothing to you. You don't see what they're trying to tell you. You don't see their indirects. You don't see their underhanded compliments, and that's why they see you as a menace, as a threat, because they know that you're operating at a higher level. So when I was getting gang stalked, I was completely sure that my client, so this is the thing, people that you have known for a while are going to be engaging in these tactics. Most likely these people have envy you in one way or another. They envy something from you, or they have been convinced by someone that you're evil or that you're this or that, and you're gonna start making connections. So like when I'm a personal trainer, I sell auto parts, and I'm trying to become a YouTuber. Now, I have a client that works out. I train her at 5. I had another client that I worked out at 9, and then I had another client that I worked at 4, and then I had another client that I worked at 9. So when I was getting gang stalked, when I was connected, I'm still getting gang stalked. So when I was connected, I felt that the clients were conspiring to make their appointments in a way that wouldn't let me rest. But the reality, it was that because I was so connected, that I was beginning to see those connections that were never there. So that was just a suspicion that I had because of the entire gang-stalking operation, when in reality it was just them fitting them in my schedule. I was being paranoid. I was being extra suspicious of people. But and I was so sure that they were scheduling me with the intention of having me be tired all the time. But in reality, I was tired because I was using a lot of drugs. That's the reality of it. And because I wasn't giving myself enough to rest. It is completely possible for me to work like that, because I'm doing that now. I'm working more than ever. And I, however, do not have that suspicion anymore, because I'm actually taking the time to, I'm making rest a priority. So you're gonna feel that these people so also, I got a couple of clients that were paying me really good money to train them, but because of gang stalking, I'm really good at marketing, at least in personal training. So I was able to get enough clients, and when this was happening, I got a client who had just moved to San Diego, and he hired me like right on the spot. He was always on good with his payments. He was an amazing client. But because of gang stalking, I thought that I was so sure that he was just a perp that was pretty much a gang stalker, someone that was meant to to harass me in the gang stalking manner. But the truth of the matter was that he was just someone that wanted his results, you know, and because of me, of the mental state that I was so connected, like he was participating in gang stalking, but because I was so connected, I had this suspicion that he inserted himself into my life because he was a gang stalker in order to keep harassing me. But I mean, he was paying, he was doing the workouts, he was always giving in 100%. But because of the gang stalking, I always knew that he had ulterior motives. But in reality, I mean, if everyone is agreeing to harass you in a way that isn't really harmful, well, that it appears to not be harmful, and it is kind of, everyone is just telling you, you know, that you just have to, for whatever reason. They're gonna tell me it's probably a drug treatment. Then, of course, you're gonna participate, you know, because it just is what it is, you know. So people are going to insert themselves to you. They're gonna they use disappointment as a way to trigger you. So like they're gonna invite you to places and then like not call you back, or just like kind of flirt with you and then just like completely cut you off. You know, that's one of the things that I have noticed that they do. At least they have done that to me. Thankfully, I'm not looking for any type of romantic relationship. Hell no, I have no time for that. Anyways, so yeah, they're going to literally insert themselves into your life, try to pull you in, try to push you to a vice, some type of self-destructive behavior. Now we're gonna get to something that appears to be very beloved of everyone on YouTube, and it is a very controversial topic, which is electronic harassment with technology and devices. We're gonna talk about that on my next video. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.